Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we will ask some deep, powerful questions that will help you understand a little better the difference between memory and manifestation. Because if everything is mind, everything is made by our thoughts, then how do we know when we are thinking and just remember things? And how do we know when we really shift into a different reality? Meaning, how do we know that we are actually doing the work of manifestation and we are not just thinking thoughts and dwelling on the past, or just thinking, or imagining and fantasizing? How do we know? So let's begin. So let's start with a definition of Bashar, channeled by Daryl Anka, that I love listening to him, of reincarnation. But first, let me give you the definition from Wikipedia of reincarnation. Reincarnation, also known as rebirth or transmigration, is the philosophical or religious concept that the non-physical essence of a living being begins a new lifespan in a different physical form or body after biological death. In most beliefs involving reincarnation, the soul of a human being is immortal and does not disperse after the physical body has perished. Upon death, the soul merely becomes transmigrated into a newborn baby or into an animal to continue its immortality. The term transmigration means the passing of a soul from one body to another after death. Okay, now if you've been learning spiritual teachings for enough time, you know that something is wrong with this definition, because you know that all events, people, and circumstances, everything is happening right now. So you don't have to die, to actually die, in order to have a new life in another place, in another time, because you can die while living by shifting your perspective, by shifting yourself. We already know that we can shift ourselves now into a different reality that already exists right now. We don't have to die in order to do that, because we have infinite versions of reality that exist now. Okay, so let's go to Bashar, channeled by Daryl Anka, definition of reincarnation. Bashar says that all people, and I'm paraphrasing, that all people, events, and things are happening right now, and by connecting to their energy, we define it as memory. And this is reincarnation. You see how interesting this is? Reincarnation is actually all in our mind. We can just close our eyes and go wherever we want. And this is reincarnation. Actually, all our memories are reincarnations. This is the opposite of what Eckhart Tolle is teaching. It's not being in the now, it's being in the past, right? Because it's a memory. It's not being in the future, it's being in the past, because you're remembering something that already happened. Yes, even though it is all happening right now. Okay, because the definition of a memory is our definition. We are defining it as that. Okay, so if we defined reincarnation as a memory, which is the past, what is actually manifestation? Meaning, we think that by connecting to other people's energy or other events or whatever, so when we connecting to that energy that we are imagining, then we can manifest things into reality right now. So what makes the difference between just a memory and a true manifestation? So are you ready for the answer? Everything exists now, including what we call past lives, future selves, alternate timelines, and all possibilities. And when we connect to any of those realities, the past, the future, etc., we interpret the connection based on our linear perception. So when we connect to a past version, we call it memory. And when we connect to a potential future, we may call it imagination or intuition or manifestation. It depends on how we interact with it. So let's frame the difference between memory and manifestation. Memory is connecting without shifting. When you remember something, you are tuning into an energy or version of reality, but you're not necessarily shifting your state to it. So when you remember something, you are observing it, you are acknowledging it, but keeping your current vibration the same. It's like watching a movie, of the past without becoming the character again. Yes. So, manifestation, on the other hand, is tuning and shifting. When you manifest something, you're not just observing or remembering. It's about matching the frequency of the desired reality and actually shifting into a version of yourself that experiences it now. It's an act of alignment, not observation. So the key difference is memory is like tuning into a radio station but not letting it play through your speakers. Manifestation is tuning up the volume and stepping into the room where that music is already playing. Okay, so here's a quote from Bashar. You do not change the world you are in. You shift to the version of Earth that already reflects your new vibration. So the external world you see isn't something you need to force to change. You're not here to push reality around until it becomes what you want. Instead, when you change your frequency, meaning your beliefs, emotions, actions, expectations, you actually shift into a parallel version of Earth where thing you desire already exists. There are infinite versions of Earth, each slightly different, but by aligning your vibration, you jump to the version of Earth that matches it. You're not moving objects, you're moving yourself to a different reflection of reality. For example, you want a loving relationship. You don't make it happen by chasing it. you become the version of yourself who already believes it's possible, who feels loved, who acts from worthiness. And in doing so, you align with a version of reality where that relationship already exists. So it's about identity shift, not outer struggle. Let's ask another question. If you already imagined something, let's say you imagined for years that you are rich or that you're in a happy relationship, or that you win, that you get a promotion in your job. And let's say that hasn't manifested. Is that imagination considered a memory or a potential? I mean, can you still manifest it? So this is a very subtle question, and it's very interesting. And let me tell you, imagination is the language of your higher mind. When you imagine something vividly, you're actually tuning into a version of reality that exists now in another frequency. So if you've imagined it for years and haven't seen it manifest yet, there could be a few reasons. First of all, it is still a potential, meaning the version of you that lives that life exists. But right now, of course, but you haven't yet shifted your state to match it fully. Maybe some beliefs, fears, or identities are keeping you tuned to a different station. Second, you're visiting it often, but not becoming it. Meaning you're visiting the imagination, the picture, the feeling often, but you're not really shifting into it. You're not becoming it. You're living it. You're giving up on it. Think of it as like a window shopping. You look at it, you feel it, you dream it, but don't walk into the store and live as if it's already yours. And another reason is that if you repeatedly imagine something and feel sadness or distance, it might feel more like a memory of a possible self, a timeline you didn't fully align with. But Bashar would say, or your higher self would say, if it still excites you, it is still available, not gone. So to wrap it up, manifestation is tuning and becoming and aligning, and imagination is your first step, an invitation from your higher mind. And if it hasn't manifested yet, it's still a potential unless you emotionally archive it as something that never happened. Then it feels like a memory, but only because you've stepped away from it. Okay, so how do we become something that we never have been before? Like, how do we shift into something that we don't know how it looks like, right? Because we only have memories in our minds. So this is actually the question that at the heart of transformation. I mean, how do we become something we've never been before? So it takes actually 5 steps to do this, okay? So the first step is we don't become something, we already are it. And once you understand this, I guess you understand everything. So I know that it sounds confusing, but you wouldn't be able to imagine it if it didn't already exist within you as a version of yourself. So for the first step is not to become, but to uncover. It is not about creating a new self. It is about tuning into the version of you who already exists in another frequency. Okay, another thing you should know is that imagination is your bridge. Ask yourself, what does the version of me already living this feel like? How do they think? How do they make decisions? How do they walk into a room? What do they know to be true? You don't need to know the full picture. You only need a moment of their essence. And then act from that place, even just a little. But the more you do it, the faster the manifestation will come. Another thing is you want to live as if, but lightly. The key isn't to fake it. It is to feel it enough to flow with it. Don't wait to feel confident. You want to act like someone who already is. You don't want to wait to feel abundant. You want to make one decision as if money supports you. You don't want to wait to be in love. You want to treat yourself the way someone deeply loved would. You're not forcing. It is playful, like putting on a new outfit and walking around the house. Try it on. Number 4 is catch when you're being the old self. You'll slip into old belief, old doubts, old habits, a lot. Don't beat yourself up. Just notice, oh, these thoughts belong to the version of me who doesn't believe it's possible. That's okay. I don't have to believe her anymore, or him. Then ask, what would the new version of me do right now instead? It's a moment-to-moment choice. That's how identity shifts. And the last step is you want to use Bashar's formula. Follow your highest excitement with no insistence on the outcome. Even small excitement, tidying a room, sending a message, going for a walk, are breadcrumbs from the version of you you're becoming. Just follow them. Trust they lead somewhere even if your mind doesn't see the path. You become something you've never been before by trusting that version of you already exists, by tuning into them with your imagination, by choosing to act like them in tiny, safe ways, and by not waiting for proof. This is the most important thing, your faith, your beliefs, your knowing. By letting your knowing come first. And with each choice, you shift. Not all at once, but by click, like changing a dial. So I hope this landed for you, and if it did, I would love to hear it in the comments. Make this channel bigger, help me grow it, and share it with someone who needs it. Like, subscribe, and thanks for being here. Bye bye, take care.